Hi, guys, and welcome to Caribbean Soul Food Duo, where Honey and I are in the kitchen today, but I'm doing the cooking because Honey wants some fried corn, and this is fried corn off the cob, right,
Oh,
sweetie?
yes, yes,
Mommy's going
honey.
to make you some corn
Yes,
today.
yes, honey.
So, we actually served this corn at our launch party a few days ago, and it was a
Off
hit.
the chain.
Yes, we didn't even get the corn, so we decided we'd make a nice skillet of fried corn just to have with our dinner tonight.
Yes.
So stay tuned as we bring you the great ingredients to get this recipe going. I think you're going to be pleased. This is a down home, old school Southern favorite of mine that was made by my grandmother when I was a little girl. So you will not be disappointed. So let's get started. Stay tuned. Okay, guys, we're all ready to dig into this great recipe of fried corn. Here I'm starting with 5 ears of fresh corn from the market. This is corn that actually has a cob. You can purchase corn, fresh corn, or you can use corn from the freezer along with canned corn as a mix, but you may not get that actual homegrown flavor that you get with corn off the cob. So we have 5 ears here that we put onto a bowl upside down in a larger bowl to do our cutting. I've already cut my corn, as you can see, because I don't want you to have to go through this long, taping time with me to show you how to do it. So here you've gotten 5 ears of corn. I've cut the corn around the edges here, and now we have corn that looks like this. So we washed our corn, we've washed our hands really good. We're ready to add our ingredients, which we've kept very basic today. We have a natural sea salt, a Cajun Creole seasoning, a McCormick black pepper. We're going to use butter. We're going to start with 4 tablespoons of butter and add butter if necessary. I have 2 cups of milk and 3 tablespoons of flour that have been mixed together that is going to give us the richness of the base that we need in our fried corn. Now, when I was a little girl, my grandmother made fried corn that had a little scorch edge to it. So that scorch edge kind of made it really, really super tasty. So we're going to be doing that today, scorching our corn just a little. Oh, and there goes my great train, guys. I hope you can hear it. But we're going to scorch our corn just a little to give it a really, really old school flavor. So once we've washed our corn, we've shucked our corn, we've got all our silkies away, we've cut our corn into nice kernels like this. We are now going to be prepared to add our corn to our butter. So we're going to start with 4 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to be using a cast iron skillet, which is a great skillet to cook corn up in. If you don't have a cast iron skillet, don't worry, it's fine. It still will cook, but it may not have that rich thickness that you get in a cast iron skillet, but it still will be delicious. So we're going to melt up our butter so that we can prepare our corn to go into the butter before our butter turns dark or before it burns. We want it nice and hot, but not at a level where it is now started to burn. So let's get ready to dig into pouring our corn into the skillet and letting you see how we add our seasonings to get it all cooked up, okay? Okay, we're getting our butter melted up here, which is going to make this, a nice buttery dish. So we want to melt this before it, and add our corn before it turns brown, guys. We don't want it to turn brown or burn because it's going to make our corn taste pretty funky. So at this point, I think our butter is ready to add the corn. We're going to add our corn, and then we're going to stir thoroughly so that it kind of mixes the butter taste, in with the corn really good. So let's get our corn into the skillet and stir it really well. Okay, guys, we're going to now, we got our corn in the skillet, so we want to make sure we stir it really good, okay? Because when we do that, we get all the butter seasonings going through it as it cooks. You want to put this on a low to medium heat. Once it's frying up, you don't want to burn it. So you want to keep it cooking, but not too fast. So I would say continue to stir it with the butter. We're going to do that for a few minutes. you won't actually see the few minutes. I've already stirred it a couple of minutes before we got back into the video. But we're going to want to, keep stirring it just to get it all mixed up. And then we'll start to add our great ingredients to make it, come to life. So the butter, it just provides it, look at it, a nice glossy, kind of a shiny look, which means it's really sauteing in the butter. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to add some salt and our seasonings. There is no set amount. I would just say kind of eyeball it. We don't want to over salt. This is 5 ears of corn. So I say we're adding probably, a little bit less than, we're adding about a teaspoonful. Okay? So we're adding about a teaspoonful. We're going to do some Cajun seasoning. We have to get this open. And then we're going to add some black pepper. So you want to kind of eyeball what you're adding, okay? And then we'll stir that and get everything mixed in. And that looks really, really good. So I think Honey's gonna like this tonight. He and I both wanted fried corn.
Oh yeah.
We had a lunch party a few days ago, and the fried corn was such a hit. We thought maybe we just do this again.
Oh yeah. It was a smash, baby. It was so good.
Yeah, it was so good. There was like no fried corn left from the party, so we thought we'd make our own super batch of fried corn tonight. So he's just chilling, watching me do the fried corn. I think I'll make him happy.
Yeah, it was so much. Ooh,
yeah.
There was none.
There was none left. But we're happy that our guests enjoyed our fried corn, which means that we did something right with the fried corn. So
yes,
we are very happy about that. We love feeding people. That's one of our gifts. We love to feed people. So
yes,
yeah. So we're just gonna enjoy this skillet for ourselves. And hopefully our friends will see this later when it's all gone, and they won't call up and say, "Can we come over and get some corn?"
Nope.
No corn tonight.
Restaurant is closed.
Yes. So we're going to, what we're going to do now here is we're going to add in our milk with our flour. This is 2 cups of milk, 3 tablespoons of flour that we mix together really good, and we're going to cover it with a lid. So we're going to cover it with our big lid.
Looks good too.
Yeah. After we stir it, we're going to cover it with a lid and let it simmer. So Honey's going to help me. He's going to pull out the lid for me. He's always here when I need him. Just to keep us, kind of smoothing and grooving along and not taking you through a long video process. We think that, that kind of kills our recipe when we have to take you through the long, drawn out part of preparing this. And this corn, oh, thank you, sweetie.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. This corn should take you about a half-hour cook time. So once you prepare this, once you wash, cut your corn, you're looking at less than a half hour of getting this on the table. So it's really an easy dish.
It smells good.
Yes, you just have to make sure you stir it to keep it from, now sticking is no problem. You want it to stick a little, but you just don't want to burn it. The sticking is going to give it that old school, down home, great grandma's kind of, feeling.
Like a little brownie, right?
Yes, a little brownie.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, it's almost like a hash brown. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like you get a great, great old school taste. So if you can see, we have a creamy base because we need to let our corn cook. That base is going to act as if it's a boiling agent to cook your kernels so that they cook up really well. And you don't have popcorn in the skillet with flour.
Milk broth?
It's like a milk broth.
Yes.
We want our corn to cook. It is raw and we need it to cook. We don't need to overcook it. So now we're going to turn this down to a low setting. Now along the way, I would suggest adding a half cup of water to this. As it starts to cook, add a half cup of water after you've gotten your milk and your flour stirred in. We're gonna add a half cup of water because that's going to keep it from being so thick. So we're going to add a half cup of water into our corn. That's going to help it to really cook slowly. It's going to just sit there and soak in, and it's going to become very, tender. So we want it to be like I said, not like popcorn. So it'll give you a soupy base, and that soupy base is what's going to cook your corn. Now, as your corn starts to cook toward the end, again, we will add a little more butter. We added 4 tablespoons of butter. We're going to add maybe a couple of more tablespoons of butter, and that will give it the buttery flavor in the end. So right now, we're perfectly good with the corn as it cooks. We're going to put it on a low heat, and we're going to cover it and let it cook, I would say, for about 20 minutes, and then we'll come back and add our remaining butter and take it through the final stage of cooking. But there you have it. That's your fried corn. I think you'll love it. As you go along, you can taste it. If you need to add salt, pepper, Cajun seasoning, that's totally up to you. It's to everyone's flavor. But I think once you get all those ingredients with the corn together in the skillet and take it through the cooking process, you will be very pleased with your dish as it is completed. So we will come back and let you know the final stage of cooking corn tonight, okay? Okay, guys, there is our final meal. We have our corn off the cob, all cooked up in a nice milk base with flour, butter, salt, and pepper. As you can see, it is a darker texture. We actually did a scorch to it, not a burn, but a scorch. It's kind of the way it was cooked up in the old days. This corn I cooked in a cast iron skillet, so it has a great texture to it. My honey made some great Caribbean ribs with a jerk sauce. Those are going to be so tasty. And he also made us a great butter mashed potato. So this is our meal for today or tonight. We did not put bread with this because we have potatoes. We tend to skip bread around here sometimes. But you are free to add whatever you want to this meal. Green beans works also. Something green, a green salad also goes well with this. We choose to skip that today, but this is our corn, our cream style corn, fried from the cob. Great, great dish. Very tasty. You know, we're going to show you a lot of ways to make this corn, but today we're sticking with the old school, old fashioned, traditional corn.
From scratch.
Some from scratch, yes. Mommy made it from scratch.
Yes, you did.
So
baby.
I think we're going to enjoy this. So before you leave our channel, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to get our recipes as they become available. We'll see you on our next Caribbean Soul Food Duo. And remember, we love you, but guess what? God loves you more. We're checking out. Enjoy your evening.